particular primal essence. On one aspect, this means that you have to come out of giving the light to the upper part of the brain. The upper part of the brain is the light. The light that you are trying to deal with is up under the brain. The pineal gland, pituitary gland. Why they tell you in the movie, The Matrix, they talk about Zion. Zion being deep within the core of the earth. Well, the Matrix is nothing but the human brain. It gives you signals of light and tell you that all this shit here is real. But it's only an illusion. The underworld starts from the pineal gland on down to the root chakra, which is the inner world. So the physical brain is the matrix to give you all this, to be in the illusion. So, up under the brain, when they say Zion or the gates of Zion, the gates of Zion, which I told you in the book, The Tower of Alchemy, they documented design. I've been talking about this design was a pineal gland for the last 6-7 years. But they documented it in the book, The Tower of Alchemy by David Goddard. Goddard, G-O-D-D-A-R-D. The Tower of Alchemy. And they talk about that. Zion is also the pineal gland, or the pituitary gland. I got it in Gershom Schroeder's book, Kabbalah and its symbolism. And they talk about these pearly gates or the gates of Zion, and the Spirit said that's the pineal gland. But we got it documented in David Goddard's book. I'm just giving you the documentation of stuff that has come to me spiritually. Now, so when they're talking about Zion, they're talking about the pineal gland. The matrix is what covers over the pineal gland, which is the physical brain. And in the physical brain, based on the angles of light that is wired, that's where the angels live. And those hosts of heaven is the seraphonic realm or the fake realm, are the ones that make it possible for this form of creation. So it goes on to say in the Hermetic text, it says that the heaven that nourishes all that is on earth and in the universe, the Platonic Zeus, that is talking about the seraphonic realm, they said does not have all the nourishing for everything in the universe. The one, and it talks about how the true beings in the universe will be worshipped in a hole, in a circle, in the ground. So throughout all, I'll just put it up here so the people will know. Throughout all ancient mythology, you will see a hole and you will see a circle. This particular circle here, the primal point, is what is represented as the point that is all the nourishment of the true beings is coming from. In so many words, what you call hell or the underworld is the true and primal world. So where did the world go that was the primal world in the beginning? It became the underworld, or it became the hell, or it became the Sheol, or it became the shell, and the shells are the Kalipoth. So in so many words, the underworld is the true, it is the heaven that is about to rise up. So now, going right along, it also represents the pineal gland. That's why this particular sphere in the middle called Dog, it represents the pineal gland, but it is the gateway to the other side of the tree. And the other side of the tree is where, the other side of the tree is where it's going to flip over, and that's where we are going to. So, we are fortunate enough for these days, to have the right entities for you to call on, which is on the other side of the tree. And that's the key right now for one of the things that we're dealing with, and that is this. So this is how it goes. This is how the story goes. They have been studying this stuff since the Moors left this stuff in Spain. they had been studying the Kabbalistic system and all the other stuff, but they understood, and we're talking about the powers that be in the occult societies, that what they were trying to do was break through to the other side of the tree. So they understand that everything in this particular creation will be destroyed. And the only thing that will be left standing in this particular creation will be the original primal entities, which is us. So as a result, the whole history of the occult world was to somehow to get a breakthrough to the other side of the tree, which would represent the other form or the next dimension. Okay. Or the next shift, as Valentine calls it, or the primal link into the next realm. Aleister Crowley, this is why he is so celebrated, is Aleister Crowley was able to get names of these entities that were supposed to be on the other side of the tree. But the names that he got on the other side of the tree were never activated. So what means is that they could go in and they could view certain things based on visions. But the entities on the other side of the tree was never activated because those were supposed to be entities that were supposed to exist in this particular time that we're living in right now. So he has about 22 different entities that was never activated. That was never activated. Fortunately, this is what's happened. In 2001, from January 2001 to 9/11/2001, there was a war that was fought between the day side of the tree and the night side of the tree. There was a war that was fought. The day side of the tree, which is our children that was young, that overthrew us when we were first toppled and fell into the physical aspect, was weak, just like we were weak billions of years ago. They were weak, and as a result, between January 2001 to 9/11/2001, there was a war being fought, and 9/11/2001, when that building went down, it also represented the gateway and the opening for those particular entities that won the war, which was the dark side. You got a representation of this in the movie Underworld that just came out, where you had the werewolves being black people and the vampires being the whites in the movie. This is nothing but a movie of a rendition of a war that was fought. They talk about a war in heaven that started this. There was a future war in heaven that went on between 2001, January 2001 to 9/11/2001. They have this war that went on. Now, the interesting thing about it here is, unlike Crowley, who could not activate it, so they had all these white folks that tried to activate the other side of the tree, because this is important, because if you don't activate the other side of this tree, you can't get up out of here. So all of a sudden, this stuff, it takes on a whole other thing. And motherfuckers tell you, follow me. You see what I'm saying? This is some real shit, because this other side of the tree is nothing but the primal sources inside of you. They could not do it. They could not do it. We got information on the other side of the tree, some of the most detailed information. One is a book called The Shadow Tarot by Linda Falario. The Shadow Tarot by Linda Falario. You can go on the internet and you can get portions of this in an internet website called Ananda Zone, if it's still in. It used to be in a couple of years ago. But look up Linda Falario. Spell that the best way you can. Linda Falario. And look up the Shadow Tarot. That's one of the only existing things that's on this particular thing that white folks got. And the other one is the definitive text called Night Side of Eden, A book called Night Side of Eden by Kenneth Grant, which is now out of print. Night Side of Eden by Kenneth Grant, which is the definitive text from 1977. That's the one that's talking about this dark side of the tree. So in so many words, they had to access this dark side of the tree so that they can save themselves from what is coming down. Now, the great mystery is between January 2001 to up until now, we have been receiving the communications of the particular names and the particular entities that access this particular science. So in so many words, I've been working on a mission, not just to do the research. I've been researching a mission to get breakthroughs. These breakthroughs started coming. I mean, I've researched for damn near 9-10 years. And then in 2001, the breakthroughs started coming. The breakthroughs started coming. And these new entities started coming. Now, this is one of the mysteries. Y'all all right? Yeah. Trying to teach you this because this is what's going on right now. This is very important. There is, let me get my notes. There is, let me get the notes, see if there's anything here. There's 11 numbers to the Kalipop. That's called the other side of the tree. There are also 11 Congo spirits. That's the spirits that I call out. El Cristo Negro, La Spiritus in Tranquila, Santissima Muerte, San Simone, El Cristo Rey, Madre de la Luna, Madre de Agua, Santissima Petra Emin, Francisco Siete Reyes, and Mama Shola. Now, this was a very interesting story that happened because we're dealing with this particular science here right now. But I need to ask, is anybody unclear with what I'm talking about? Is this going over your heads? Okay, good. We're all more advanced than what we think. Now, in 2000, I went on another research. I had been doing magic in the mid-90s, so I left magic alone for about 4 years, from 96 to 2000. When I got back with it and stuff, the first thing I did was access the voodoo. And the voodoo, I had certain breakthroughs on trying to access this. Let me explain what's going on here. The same time the European in the occult world was trying to access these sides of the tree, and they have been trying to do this since the late 1800s to no avail. I had been on a mission to access some of the same things, trying to research on how to get some breakthroughs to break through to the other side to destroy this damn matrix. Now, in the research, which is good because this here it comes again, because this goes beyond Bobby Hemmit versus what you call it. This is a consortium of the spirit world. And it was interesting here, just like the movie Minority Report, in order for me to get the breakthroughs, although I worked towards the breakthroughs, the actual utterances of the breakthroughs as far as these particular entities had to come from females. They were the oracles. And over the course of time, this has been about 4 or 5 females, but 2 main females, one on the East Coast and one on the West Coast. The one that I just gave you the phone number is a new one. This is a new one who is a new sister that just came. But now try to understand this. We were looking to try to get a breakthrough also. Working very hard to get this breakthrough. The white folks have been working from this shit, trying to get this stuff for years. But what they didn't realize is in order to access the backside of the tree to other dimensions, these entities are ancestral. They are ancestral. So no matter how much they would try to do this, they weren't going to have no breakthroughs, because the only way you can have a breakthrough is it had to be an ancestral link. And these backside of this tree is comprised of our souls. word Christ only means your soul. It's not no particular. That's why any motherfucker come up to you telling I'm the Christ, and you should tell that motherfucker like I am. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't gonna be no one naughty head motherfucker coming up to you and always giving you human shit. Let's build a nation building. I thought you were supposed to be the Christ. I want to see you fart out your ass and knock down the motherfucking sun. Don't give me no nation building, some check cashing places, or no shit like that. Always come up with the same cult activities. Now, the key here is, in these particular breakthroughs, these are ancestral entities or energies. Now, there was 11 Kalipoth. I started doing these rituals, and at that particular time, the only thing that could give me the type of energy or the type of breakthroughs I needed at the particular time, the voodoo took me to a certain level, was the palos. So I did a major ritual to the palos, which is called Apollo Manombe, Apollo Monte in Cuba, Apollo Manombe in Puerto Rico and Cuba and Brazil, was Apollo Manombe, and I did a ritual. I did a ritual with the Apollo Manombe on September the 9th, 2000. 2000. As a result, over the course of that year, by January, we started having these breakthroughs. Now, this is the magical part. As you can see that I'll put on the camera, that you can see on the TV screens, these are called signatures of Veves. And the signatures in the Veves are the spiritual, I wish he was here to zoom in. You know how to zoom this in? Yeah. You know. Okay. This is the signatures. I want to zoom it in. I want to zoom this in and then move the camera so you can get it all. Yeah. 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 These are the Veves. Yeah. These are the Veves of the Apollo Manombe. So I lined these things up in my living room, and they've been in my living room ever since. I got this particular setup in my living room where you can't see it, but anyway, we did a ritual, and fortunately for these, because these are the ones that came from the Congo, Africa, and because they were too feared and hadn't been touched by Western hands, but just a few small practitioners in America and in the islands, it wasn't saturated because there wasn't any written information on it, and the government made sure that they would not even talk about this because they had a war against voodoo. The reason why you were scared of voodoo, most people are scared of voodoo or voodoo, is because they had a war against this thing in the 1950s, and they fashioned all of this stuff to scare you in the 1950s, which is interesting here because you got it. This one here is the Veve for the Veve for El Cristo. If you can zoom into that there the best you can. This is the Veve for El Cristo Negro. Yeah, I want to get the name. El Cristo Negro. So here you also have one of the black identifications of Christ. El Cristo Negro. This one here is El Cristo Rey, which there's an entire statue made to El Cristo Rey down in El Paso, Texas. And people go to make pilgrimage all the time to this. Now, try to understand this. So I did this particular ritual to these particular entities, and as a result, we started having breakthroughs. We started having these particular names started coming through. First it came with the first five, Otincha, T.H., Shayola, Shumala, and Omagumu. Now it's interesting about Otincha because the brother Yehoshua had given me this information yesterday. Was it Shumala? What's what?
was when the lecture you had did.
Yeah, but that was on teaching the one, that was actually on teaching the one that was the fire.
Okay, because you had said at the NCC said, don't mess with me.
I'm fire.
Unless you want to burn some shit up.
But burn some shit up. What happened was this here. We started having these breakthroughs. So these white folks have been looking for this particular information for years, but it's ancestral, so they can't make the link. The reason why I was particularly making the link, because no one other than me dealt with the dark side when it came to the people that was on the circuit. Everybody else is scared of evil. If the white man is giving you a religion and he's been speaking against something all these years, that's evil, but yet they got a church on every corner in the black community, it stands to reason that you're going to do the opposite. That's why it tells you in Isaiah 45, I will give you the treasures of darkness. And when you see Jesus riding in on the same donkey that was venerated as Satan by the Egyptians, you will know, goddammit, that Satan was the key to this shit. And it was very interesting. Because all the people had to do, see, this is when we're talking about mind control. Only thing that black people needed to do was to have an extensive and intensive study on Satan. I am the preeminent scholar of Satan, the dark side, the demon realm, and so therefore I get the juice. See, it's a cosmic joke. It's a trick. You ever go on a journey and they got these tricks and they give you all these things and nobody is able to figure it out because everybody's afraid of their training, their imperial breeding. So as a result, what I did is went on an intensive study on the dark side. And the dark side is the key to it all. And yes, you ain't got none of the black leaders or nobody out here. I'm the only motherfucker been talking about this shit. Dr. York is good, talking about all this here. Farrakhan, you know that motherfucker ain't nothing but a goddamn preacher. And the rest of them is all this shit in, but everybody, you've been catching all this hell with all what is good, and the only thing you had to do is look into what is evil. If this is an illusion and doesn't exist, it's an illusion. You agree on that. They even tell you in Christianity, this kingdom is not my father's. If it's an illusion, then that means that which is anti-it has to be the real shit. So they're called the anti-gods. Now, try to understand this. Try to understand this. So after the ritual, we start having breakthroughs. One that came was called Otincha, T-H-A, Sheola, Shumala, and Omagumu. The one named Otincha said, I am fire, and do not use me, not unless you want to burn up some shit. This is this is March. They came in March of 2001. So I'm sitting around, and about 2 weeks later, I said, well, God damn it, if we want to burn up some shit, let's start with the Pentagon. We got the shit on tape. And let you know we ain't bullshitting. We got the motherfucker right on tape. We got it down there. What's the name of that tape? They call it something else here.
A new matrix.
They call it the new matrix here. It was called something else in Atlanta when I did it. I got my thing right here.
Both the names you got, both the titles.
I got my I tell you right now, damn it. That all right? Because you got to hear this shit. Because I'm getting ready to give you the juice and the power. I'm going to get ready to give you the juice and the damn power in a few seconds. 2002. It was late 2001. It was December 2001. So, let's see, 9, 10. Okay, it was called Black Hole Destiny, a New Matrix for Reality. 12/22/2001. Black Hole Destiny, A New Matrix for Reality, 12/22/2001. So in March of 2001, these entities came through to break this shit. So we are in an intelligentsia. We work together now. So it ain't just Bobby Hemmit, oh, great Messiah, and all that kind of shit. Well, y'all can put some money in the goddamn bucket, because I'm damn sure going to do the preacher thing here. But listen. Listen to me. In 2002, the sister came from Los Angeles, California, and her mother from Los Angeles, California, who used to hang with Malcolm X, the mother, conscious family, Kay started having these series of breakthroughs in these channels. Now, there's different kind of channels. There's the channels on the mundane realm. They can get all the stuff your boyfriend and girlfriend and all that stuff is doing or whatever. Then there's the ones that can get the stuff from the higher realms. So these ones, the ones I'm giving you now, is getting the stuff from a higher level. But she can give you the general reading. Now, Kay from Los Angeles, and her mother one night came up with the 5 deities, the first 5 to come. And the first name to come was Otichi, and she said, do not use me now unless you want to burn something up. So about 3 days later, or 2 weeks later, I said, well, fuck it, start with the Pentagon. I also got the shit in some tapes in January. I got it in a July tape of 2001. I got it in a July tape before 9/11 when I did one down there at the Afrocentric Temple in Atlanta before they barred my ass. July of 2001 and stuff like that, no, till the government rolled in on them and they barred my ass. But anyway, I said, well, start with the Pentagon. Now, it's interesting because the Pentagon is the only one they can't even find the wings of the plane, and it's the first time in world history that nobody can't find the parts of a plane. But now they're saying what the brother said.
See, what happened was I was on the computer, and somehow I came to that 9/11 stuff, and there's a site called American Autobahn, like the Autobahn in Germany,
yeah.
Right? And what it said was that they showed, there's a picture, there was a camera at a gas station across the street from the Pentagon, and they showed that there was an entity, they call it a skull baby, and the technical term they was using was a monosola, M-O-N-I-S-O-L-A, and it says, the caption was monosola coming in to fuck up the Pentagon. And usually they don't be cursing on the computer, but that's what they said, coming in.
Now, it said the monosolar coming in to fuck up the Pentagon, which is interesting because the Freedom of Information Act and the other stuff that Dick Gregory got said, they said it's the first time in history that they had a plane that crashed in the side of a building and they couldn't find no fucking plane parts. Yeah, no plane parts and stuff like that, no. You see what I'm saying? So now, we're dealing with this type of energy. Now, this is the remarkable thing. This is the remarkable thing. The scene shift, and this is 2002. And in 2002, on May the 21st of 2002, y'all all right? Yeah. Okay, you gotta listen to this. This is very key, because I'm getting ready to give up these names. And these are some names that you're gonna use for power. This is what the white boys been waiting for. They've been waiting for this shit since the late 1800s. They've been waiting on this stuff since the late 1800s. And we got it. This is the damn juice. Remarkable shit. Y'all all right?
Yeah.
All right. In 2002, on May the 21st, I'm on the phone with the other psychic, Kimberly, and at that particular time when we get ready to get off, she said there's an entity breaking through by the name of Lavado. You heard me talk about him on my tapes. Lavado. Okay. By the name of Lavado. There's 11 of these entities on these babies. They're on my living room floor. We did a ritual to Lavado on 9/10/2002. 9/10/2002, we did a ritual to Labrador. No, I'm getting that wrong. It was August. It was 10/11. It was August the 11th, 2002. I want to get my dates right. No. It was August 8/11/2002. August the 11th, 2002, me and a sister named Olivia from Kansas did a ritual to Labrador. Very powerful fucking ritual. He started cleaning house. He come in there cleaning my shit. Next thing on, I'm in financial trouble. Landlord fucking up. Got struck by lightning outside of the damn house and shit, motherfucker. I'm cutting the hedges and lightning strike my ass. I walk in the house and call two people. I said, I just get struck by lightning. They said, yeah, because it was all around me, but it didn't hit my skin. It was around my aura. Damn, I wish I had a damn camera. But anyway, this crazy motherfucker here come up in there, raising hell. Now, funny things started happening, and this is what started happening. These things that's on my living room floor in these big-ass squares on my living room floor. I got a tape called Pillow Talking with Sonora. A real raunchy tape. Show me inside my house and you can see the shit's on my floor. You see what I'm saying? We can sitting up there and all, Pillow Talking with Sonora and stuff like that. It's the Afrocentric, conscious, metaphysical eroticism. We did everything but fuck. But the energy got on the goddamn tape, and motherfuckers all over the country was getting horny off that shit. Yep, all right. My very white looking ass up there, chilling. All right. These babies is on my living room floor. The most miraculous thing happened. We do the ritual on Labrador. These babies on my floor, the back part starts to fade. I had them there for 3-4 years, and the back part starts to fade. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I didn't pick it up the first week. The second week, they start getting lighter and lighter, and I said, oh, God, these entities are sending me a message. Now, this is the key. There's 11 entities in the Kalipos. These were the only 11 ones that were left on the planet that could fill that slot of the Kalipos, and the white boys didn't get a hold of this shit because it's ancestral. This black background started fading. When it started fading, that represented those entities rising to a new level. Lo and behold, I didn't know that they had sent a message in June of 2002 before we did the ritual to Labrador. But after Labrador's rise in May of 2002, in June of 2002, the entity sent by the sister from California 11 names, which represents these particular spirits: Zarabanda, El Cristo Negro, Santísima Muerte, San Simón, El Cristo Rey, so on, the 11 entities. It represented, not only did we see the 11 images on the floor send me a message by fading into white on the white background, which represented these things rising, we also got 11 names. Now, these new names, because Crawley was given 22 names of the Kalipos, which were dormant. They didn't work. We have the Palo spirits of the Congo rights that is left behind in Brazil, Puerto Rico, and Cuba, and few practitioners in America. So we got 11 of them. We end up with 11 new names, and these particular old Congo spirits rise into a new level. which means we have these, and this is very important. This is what you need to write down. You need to write this down. The first one, who came in May, is of course Labrador. Labrador. The second one is Luigi. I'm going to spell it just like she spell it. The next one is Atama. Y'all all right? Y'all getting this? We put it on the tape for the people that can't get it. The next one is Oduwado. Did I give you this the last time I was here? Oduwado. The next one is P-O-W-A-A. Put one down here. Can you still see it on the TV screen? Okay, let's see. O-W. Okay, let's see here now. The next one is we have 80, we have 92 of these now, but these are the ones that's the backside of the tree, which is what the white boy been trying to get. Okay. Last two. Now I'll pronounce them. When she was giving it to me, she said if shit was coming, the only thing I was in another room, couldn't even go in to get no paper, and I had to grab a shit out the album cover. You know, to get this stuff. Because when they come, they come. Let's see. Okay. We got Labrador, Luigi, Atama, Oduwado, Oduwado, Powa, and Ogu Wadi, Leowa, Gojugo, Biwasta, Amatees, and Awudage. These are the 11 entities of the Kalipoth. These are the 11 magical names of the Kalipoth, and these also, because the Kabbalah represents, the tree of life also represents your body, these are the 11 cosmic power zones that line up for you and the energy that we're getting down with. This is the energy that is on the scene at this particular time right now. The energy will come with new names. The energies would come with new names. These are some, now like I said before, we give you these things because we have a combination of scholarship and a combination of magical experiments. How do you think knowledge got on the earth in the first place? It was channeled down from the other realm. So this is information that these particular 11 entities that you can use as words of power to deal with what you got to deal with. Now, let's go on. Y'all all right? Yeah. Okay, let's go on. Let's see here. Got a lot of shit. What time is it? 8:10. 8:10. Oh, we got good time. Good time. Okay. 8:20. Okay. We got plenty of time now. Okay. Let's go on. Let's see here. What we gonna deal with here? So you're gonna take these particular entities That is your 11 cosmic power zone, or those are the 11 entities that is dealing with the backside of the actual tree. Now, going right along, we have one thing that happened that is very key, and I've been talking about this, and this is an update. In July of this year, and I talked about this the last time I was here. In July of this year, our sister took a trip to Mississippi, and took a trip to Mississippi, and on our way to Mississippi, or Louisiana, she was going through Mississippi, Louisiana, she started getting this particular entity started coming to her called Pazuzu. Pazuzu. Okay. Pazuzu. Next year this time will be the 30-year anniversary of the movie The Exorcist. This particular picture of this particular, they say it's a dog head with wings and wings and taloned wings and a saturnine face, and it has something like claws and certain feet, eagle feet. The entity is called Pazuzu, which is the god that was in the movie The Exorcist. Now, in this particular aspect of, he is a god, it says a Pazuzu, a second millennium, horn talon wing with saturnine face, and a Mesopotamian demon. Pazuzu was the lord of the north scorching wind, a destructive manifestation of the god's power. Now this is the great mystery here, is this. He's the god of the scorching wind. We now know that the way this thing is coming back, the war is to be fought on what is called a nanotechnological existence. They're doing all kind of stuff to get nanotechnology. They're giving people billions of dollars to try to study the smallest particles in the universe. Nanotechnology is trying to study the smallest things in the universe and stuff, and it's called nanotechnology. We know now, even your guy Lynn Horowitz and all that was talking about the emerging diseases. Now, the Kalipoth realm is this dark side realm, is the realm of disease. Now, what we know now based on the ancients, when the ancients always associated demons with disease. Demons with disease. These particular entities or damians or whatever it is with disease, this particular entity here is a real entity. This is a picture of him in the Louvre in Paris, which they got from Iraq. Follow me. They got another picture of him. In the, see if I can find a picture of this deity. Got another picture of this particular deity in the University of Chicago. Pazuzu Oriental Institute of Chicago. So this is another picture of it. You can barely see it in here. This is another statue. They just recently found this particular statue, or these particular two statues at the University, let's see, at the University of Chicago. University of Chicago. They got him at the University of Chicago. This is Pazuzu. Now he's a demon of the southwest wind. Demon of the southwest wind. When the soldiers went into Iraq, they encountered a whirlwind storm called Tamsin Kamsin. I talked about this the last time I was here. K-A-H-S-E-N. K-A-H-S-E-N. Let me get this right. K-H-A-M. Goddamn. S-E-N. Kamsin. K-H-E-M-S-E-N. Kamsin. Kamsin. Kamsin is a wind, demons, and spirits that's all combined in the wind. They encountered Kamsin, and as a result, the soldiers are now sick with these demons that is brought on by Pazuzu. This is real shit. The ancients did not separate science from spirit. So when the white boy went up in there, he should have known that his ass was cooked. Now this means the fall of America. Now Uncle Elijah Muhammad said that the white boy will go to war and he will be victorious in the one fight, but when he comes back, his country will fall apart. America will fall. That's the last thing that Farrakhan gave before he retired. All right. They went into there and they got this stuff called Kamsin. It's known in Egypt. It's known in Arabia. And it's known by the Hebrews as Ruach, which means demon and wind. Ruach. So they caught this particular stuff. The soldiers over there caught this mysterious disease. As a result, they are losing 900 soldiers a week. That's almost, they say 900 and close to 5,000 soldiers a month. And those are conservative estimates. They had one group that went over to Europe, went over to Germany, some parents from America to see their children, to see the soldiers, and they was covered from head to toe they had to get covered from head to toe. They had to come in the room covered from head to toe in head wrap and shoes wrapped and everything for the disease that they got over there. Now, try to understand what this thing is. This disease is something, whenever you get it, you come down with something similar to muscular sclerosis, or what they call Lou Gehrig's disease. Now, anybody been hearing this stuff here? They talking about how the soldiers in the first Persian Gulf War was coming down with this mysterious Persian Gulf syndrome, but they was thinking it was germ warfare. Well, apparently, the ones that was over there this particular time is coming down with this same thing, and it attacks the central nervous system. It attacks the central nervous system and it gets inside of the blood. Same stuff on the movie Dean Coon Phantoms. It's a form of a melanin in a way, because they want to use interferon, I talked about this the last time I was here, to fight whatever this disease is. They want to use interferon to fight whatever this disease is. It's a form of melanin. You go get the movie The Mummy, the second one, those Anubis warriors, and they was fighting and killing, and when they did some ritual and they disappeared, they turned into this black powder like smoke. Well, that's the same kind of thing it is. It's just on the molecular level, it's invisible, but it's a form of dark matter. It's a form of dark matter, so it's a form of melanin. Now, it's coming from the backside of the trees because there was physical portholes over there that they blew up, and as a result, they unleashed certain things and certain forces also. But before they could even get into the water, wind came which the ancients had this stuff that these winds would come and bring demons. And as a result, from the molecular level, this stuff gets into the blood system, and they're extremely sick. Now, whatever it is, it's 3 times worse than Lou Gehrig's disease and all of that, and it's crippling the army. Now, it's interesting here because, lo and behold, one of the brothers brought me a paper today to verify this. It says, those who serve in Iraq can't give blood. They're talking about the doggone CDCs. Atlanta soldiers who serve in Iraq will not be allowed to give blood for a year returning home because of a rare skin parasite. Here, this parasite shit. See right there, like microscopic organisms. A rare skin parasite that has infected 22 members. They always give you a low number. This is every motherfucker over there. 22 members of the military. They said 24 members. This is bullshit. 22 members of the military. Officials said Tuesday the disease called leishmaniasis is spread, leishmaniasis or something, is spread by sand flies that can cause itchy skin lesions. Remember they had the sandstorms? So we're making the case here because we also got from the first time we got one of the sisters in California was, what? Break in a few minutes, yeah.
I got 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes on it.
Okay, yeah. Then we're going to break and we're going to come back and go into some more. The first thing we got from the sister in California was that the soldiers were over there sick. More serious form, it says more, they said there's a more serious form that so far is not caught. None of the soldiers have caught this particular serious form that can cause death. That's bullshit. There's 900 dying a week from this same shit right here. But they always tell you in the paper, 18 members of the military are caught the parasite in Iraq, plus each 2 in Kuwait and Afghanistan. The Pentagon had estimated a potential loss of blood donors at 12,000 people. This thing here is huge that is going down. It's nothing but these entities that's over there, but they get in the blood system. Well, hold on now, because what is happening is this, and we're going to go to the break. You saw the movie The Matrix, and the movie The Matrix told you that, let me know when to cut off, because I want you to put another in that. I want to say this, then we're going to go to the break. In the movie The Matrix, they told you in order for the last one, Matrix Reloaded, in order for the Neo to get to the architect, they had to have a blackout, and the guy said electricity, because our system, the Matrix is built on electricity. And he said, you're going to black out a block. He said 27 blocks. Well, in August of this year, you had a blackout. And when they had a blackout, it was because of Mars being in the air, or Mars coming close, as well as some black waters coming off of Cleveland, because they blamed it on Cleveland. When they had a blackout, these new entities came through. This is some serious shit. There's some new entities came through called Xanthes Casimbo. Some older ones called Dagon, which is a whole spawn, Dagon. One Sagittarian entity from the Greek thing, Artemis. Lucifer, which is old. There's a combination of old and new. And the reason why these old ones could come, they was from the underworld. And Pazuzu. Xanthes, Casimbo, Dagon, Artemis, Lucifer, and Pazuzu. Then when we inquired on this mysterious black water that was found in, how much time we got? We got a, so what happened was this. You remember I was talking about the black waters off the coast of Florida. Off the coast of Florida. And then when I went to, it's a black water, which is this 100-mile black gulf of water. No marine life is in this thing. Disappeared off the coast of Florida late 2001. They announced it on March the 23rd of 2002 that they had these mysterious black waters. When I went to Cleveland, Ohio, in October of 2002, a year ago, they announced that they had black waters in Cleveland. In the what's that river? The lake, the Great Lake. Which one is in Cleveland? Lake Erie. In Cleveland. When I went back this year, they said that they had scientists that had flown in, and they was going in to investigate the black waters. But the day that they went in the lake to investigate the black waters, the blackout happened. Now remember, they blamed the blackout on who? Cleveland. But it was also Mars. It was also Mars. So the blackout was started with the combination of Mars and the black water. Just then another entity came called Althea Lucaia. Althea, and this is the new sister. This is interesting. This is when you know some shit spiritual. The new sister, the one that I gave you the number, we'll give it again. She got Althea, was the name of the black waters. Then when I called Kimberly, the other sister from Amityville, New York, that lives in Atlanta, she got the last name Lucaia, and that's the name of the black waters. This entity is a form of Tiamat, the great mother. Just then there was another entity called Nisaba, and she is a goddess of the islands. She's a goddess that sits over the islands. That's interesting for some of you West Indian folks. Nisaba. This is real shit that's going down. I'm glad it never comes from me. Interesting here. So now, in so many words, these black waters, the people, they went in and tried to investigate that day, and the shit started. But it was a combination of things. Now the key is this. When the black waters came, these entities came through. Xanthes, Casimbo, Dagon, Artemis, Lucifer, and Pazuzu. Now, so I said, well, what does this mean? They said, well, we got 7,000 entities lined up on the East Coast, ready to get funky. Now check this shit out. Check this out. One brother calls and says from Florida, because now we're dealing with the intelligentsia. This is when you have an intelligentsia. When it's not this one motherfucker, we got a research team and people are coming in and giving the puzzle. That's what you're talking about, intelligentsia. So one brother calls in from Miami and say, hey, I was watching Art Bell, used to be the Art Bell show, and they were talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then by mistake, his name is nigger too. That's a ritual. And they and somebody, what does the word Schwartz mean? Black. Yeah. Well, goddamn, the double black. Black nigger. Goddamn. And break down the etymology of Arnold. You got that L on the end. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of stuff going on with this stuff, you know. You know, Elohim, because you got an E and an L up in there, don't you? Something, what is it? What is it? A-R-N-O-L-D. N-O-L-D. There's something up in there that's etymologically right. When you study the etymology on some of these things here, remember, you got some shit that's going down. Now this is interesting here. This sister calls in and says, why are we talking about some Arnold Schwarzenegger when we got 42 people in New York City that's come down with a mysterious disease and nobody knows what this shit is about? I'm telling you that The motherfuckers is conscious you are immune to something already. But whatever this thing is, it's disease. It's in the movie 21 Days. It's in the movie Omega Man. It's in the movie The Night of the Comet. Some type of disease is in the damn movie The Stand. The disease take over, and it separates the motherfucking elect. See what I'm saying? This shit is real as we speak. Something happened during the blackout, and some shit got through to the East Coast. They didn't tell you that they had a blackout in England twice. The next damn week and a week after that. And they done had one in fucking Italy. They had one in Greensboro, North Carolina that they ain't reporting on. I don't know why. You see what I'm saying? This is some spirit stuff that's going down. Meanwhile, Mars is still in the sky, which represents the pineal gland. You see, which represents the pineal gland. You see, so this is some spirit stuff that is going down right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a break, then we're going to come back, and then we're going to go some more. Okay. You know what, man?
They have Azariah, Halloween, Azariah, and Lamar.
On Halloween Day?
Yeah. Soul Brothers Boutique.
All right. Cut it on, yeah.
At the Soul Brothers Cafe, at the Soul Brothers Boutique in Harlem, on 128th Street. Azariah, Bembe, and Brother Lamar, on Halloween night. They're going to be doing something real ritualistic.
And then November 2nd.
November 2nd is it Brother Phil Valentine?
Dr. Oyibo.
And Dr. Oyibo. They're going to be doing a lecture, the origin of everything, is it called? The origin of everything. So you have a physicist and a metaphysicist breaking down the origin of everything. That's going to be at the same cafe, right?
Right. Same boutique.
Same boutique. Soul Brothers Boutique.
All right, bro.
I just want to throw that out there. All right, peace.
Okay. All right, we got also the Bobby Hemmit Poor Negro Fund, Love Fund, for the people that want to give some quarters or whatever you want to give and stuff. It'll be greatly appreciated. You can drop in the cabinet jar and all, you know what I'm saying? This is good.
What do you know about Franz Bardot? What do you know about Franz Bardot?
Oh. Yeah, the Kabbalah stuff and all that.
We're about to get started.
That's good material?
Yeah, all of it is.
Yeah. I read it. It's 4 volumes.
Yeah. All of it is good stuff. You know,
Well, some of the names you call, I know he got it. Some of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm familiar with him. I got some of his materials.
Okay.
All right.
You want to eat okra?
Nah. You know, my grandmother used to make me eat okra.
I used to hate it. Why did you do that? It was too
Don't get me wrong, I know it's good for me and all. I used to hate it.
That slimy
She
stuff.
would sit there and look at me and say, boy, you better eat that okra. So now I'm traumatized when I see okra. It goes into the memory bank. I'm all fucked up by okra. I'm not gonna have a nightmare. Okra. Big ass okra monsters come and get me and shit. She used to make me eat it, and my grandmother, she was big. I couldn't even throw the okra away. She would know. I threw the damn okra away. She's from down south. She's from Orangeburg, South Carolina. Alright? So, that was me. Okay, once again, this is an hour of production. Glad for those who hung around. And you're going to be glad you hung around for the second half of this. As soon as Brother Bobby finished eating this Popeye sandwich. We ain't boxing Popeye with this shit. But he didn't eat anything. Bobby pulling. Look at this shit. He didn't eat that.
You feel me, man?
You don't want to roll up a conscious level, you eat that shit. No problem. It's fuel for body.
I might as well. I didn't get the gourmet shit.
Yeah, I know. We put your guys on blast for coming in with plates and okra and, you know, romaine and carrots and all the nutritious shit they eat. And they gave Bobby the straight from fried.
Curly fries.
Curly fries. Oh, man. It's all good, man. It's all good.
Yo, y'all can fill up in here, guys.
All right, fill in. All right, they at the table shopping. So, buying them books up. It's all good. Get that knowledge. So, like I said, we're going to be doing for Valentine's sometime in November. So, the movie drops, what's that, the 5th? November 5th. So we'll give them a week or two to do what we do, and then they'll pick with us. We were even thinking about all of us going collectively to see the movie together. As a group. Yeah. As a group. That would be nice. We all just get together and take over a movie theater. You know what I'm saying? That's the realness. Get up in there, see the movie together, bring your notes, your pen, your pad, and we make it happen. That would be nice. So get in contact with Brother Shabazz.
I got one too, y'all.
Oh, you know what
I ain't trying to hear. See
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Nobody don't see mine, but they see these guys.
Yeah. Brother Shabazz. Give it up.
God.
Yes. So Brother Bobby, you ready?
Yeah.
You want to get a shot of you good? Okay.
Might as well start, yeah.
Might as well start. Let's hit a long black hand. There you go, for those who are still here. It's a marathon. It's a marathon, Brother Bobby. He like Stevie Wonder. He like to shut his ass down sometimes. Hey, the same can go, but we love it.
All right.
Brother Bobby Hemmit.
Okay. We are back. This is interesting here. I'm just interested in how certain texts, like this text here, this is a book that you need to get called Myths of the Bible by Gary Greenberg. Not only does he show you in this particular book things that where they came from, the origin. Y'all got falafels and all kind of bread, and y'all really did it up. Fucking flapjacks and shit. Not only does he show that this stuff is Egyptian in origin, he even shows the scriptures of Egyptian texts and where some of the Bible texts, a lot of the Bible texts even came from. This book is called The Myths of the Bible. It's called 101 Myths of the Bible by Gary Greenberg. He also wrote a book called The Moses Mystery. Now it's interesting here because he wrote the Moses Mystery in 1997 called The African Origins of the Jewish People in 1997. They came back and they got on him. His paperback is called The Bible Myth of the same book, but it's called The Moses Mystery, African Origins of a Jewish People. There's, like I said, there's several other books that did that whole Moses and Akhenaten being one and the same. Another book, is called Ahmed Osman's book that just came out again called Moses, Pharaoh of Egypt. And they're dealing with those type things. And so in so many words, what they're also saying is that the Hebrews and the Egyptians is one family. It's one and the same in so many words. You see what I'm saying? It's one and the same in so many words. And the Hebrews, the original ones, they call what? Mizrahim is Egypt or Kemet? Yeah. But anyway, he wrote the Moses Mystery. And basically in his thing, he's proving that the Jewish race is African in origin. So the fake Jews got on him about that and all, and they're trying to make him into some type of non-reputable source. But the thing about it here is, a thing about that is he basically got 8 damn degrees. And the head of the Biblical Archaeological Society, the International Archaeological Society, the man is one of the high-end scholars, but they want to doggone make him into some type of pseudo-scholar, fly by night, and the guy got down to 8 degrees. You know, and they don't like it because this is not a black guy, because they can easily say, oh, you know, you people are just trying to have some identity. It's political. This is a white boy, and this is the newest one. He did the Moses Mystery in '97, and in the 101 Myths of the Bible by Gary Greenberg, which is interesting here because we have this fall of Jesus when Jesus died and ascended into hell and stayed. He died and was gone for 3 days and was resurrected on the 3rd. Well, it is interesting here that Inanna, Ishtar, did the same damn thing almost 6,000 years before Jesus did it. So we even have a composite of a female falling, going into hell, and rising on the 3rd day. It was hung up like a piece of meat on a hook. There's a book called Inanna, Queen of Heaven and Earth. There's Inanna, Queen of Heaven and Earth, or you can get the Ishtar story from the Stephanie Daly's book that I was talking about, Myths from Mesopotamia. And Ishtar is one that fell and was in hell for 3 days and all this. So you get, here it goes again, the reweaving of these particular myths, which goes to this. Ishtar returned to us on May the 15th, the same day that The Matrix was released and the movie The Matrix Reloaded was released, and The Eclipse. We got Ishtar returned on May the 15th, 2003 as Ishtar, I-S-H-T-A-H. And not only did she returned with 7 other entities: Ishtar, Monu, Noku, Mana, Titi, Jova, Inmatu. Is it Ishtar, I-S-H-T-A-H, Monu, M-O-N-U, Noku, N-O-K-U, Mana, M-A-N-A-H, Inmatu, E-N-M-A-H-T-U, E-N-M-A-H-T-U, Inmatu, T-T, I get that to be T-I-T-I, or T-E-T-E, and Jova, J-O-V-A-H. But it's interesting, these are all 7 feminine spirits, was also called the 7 Ishtars, or the 7 Hathors, the 7 sisters of the 7 Rishis of the Pleiades. That's why you need to get a book that people reread. It came out in the 90s, early 90s, 10 years ago, as a matter of fact. It's called Bringers of the Dawn by Barbara Marciniak. Bringers of the Dawn by Barbara Marciniak, Teachers of the Pleiades. This is very interesting. I had a friend who used to swear by the book, Sister Aphrodite down in Atlanta, and the sister from Kansas, Olivia, picked the book up about a month ago and started reading it, and so if you can get it, it might still be in print. But this particular book tells you about things that's going to go on in your life in these particular days that we're going through these things. So in so many words, it's telling you about what you're going through as the elect. As the elect. Certain things like how your family members is going to be all fucked up, people real close to you, missing time, losing time, sleep, all types of things like that. It's called Bringers of the Dawn, Barbara Marciniak and stuff, teaches from the Pleiades. Very excellent, very good book to get. Very good book to get. So this return of Ishtar that came as the 7 Ishtars is somewhat the return of Jesus in so many words as a woman. When I first came to New York in 1994, one sister in the crowd asked me, why does the Messiah have to be a man? Why can't it be a woman? I said, well, you know, we do know that part of the Messiah in Kemet was both male and female, because you get the word ha, and then you get the word ma, M-A, and the word ku, harmaku, or harmakis, which the ma in there is a form of mayat, which goes to this particular science. You get the book, The Kybalion. He has a copy of it, The Hermetic Philosophy. The Kybalion was another book put out in the early 90s or late, I can't think of the name of it, but in there they had omitted one of the things in the Kybalion. One of the laws was the law of retribution. See, they don't like to say this, the law of retribution, because if you go by the law of retribution, the powers that be got to get their ass whipped. And I went on to deal with the information that was coming from, you can get it in the book, The Dictionary of Ancient Deities. In there you will get a god called Nemesis. And Nemesis is an actual deity of retribution, reciprocity, and repercussions. And Nemesis, in studying further, is a form of Mayat. And I also talked about the last couple of months that a form of Mayat is also the goddess Athena. Is also a form of Mayat, which is interesting here because Athena, to give you some stuff on how things come back, Athena is the mythology of Mayat. You get Mayat, but you see the woman with the 2 scales that you see that the Afrocentric people was talking about was Mayat that sits in front of the courthouse. That's the goddess Athena. And that book called Athena, Her Image and Energy. So must read Athena, Her Image and Energy by Anne Scher. It's since then gone on paperback, which is very key, but also in the book, The Dictionary of Ancient Deities, Athena also represents the goddess Artemis. And the goddess Artemis is also a form of Athena. Well, this is interesting because on one of the entities that did come back during the black hole was the goddess Artemis, which is also a form of Athena. So Athena is also this goddess of retribution. There's 2 books out this current. One is called Athena, a biography, and the other one is called Athena, the Image and Energy, which is very key. That's the one, the excellent book, and it's also on paperback now. On paperback now. So these are things that is coming through. We'll go into some of that in a few minutes. I'll go into some of that in a few minutes. But I want to also mention, like I left off, that the word SARS that you got with this mysterious cold and disease that came out of the Iraqi war and even hit the Asians for some reason, the Koreans or whatever, the word SARS also means Osiris. In the Egyptian book, The Egyptian Heaven and Hell by E. Wallace Budge. They had 1 volume that came out, but the one that came out in 1996 was all 3 volumes, and the last time those was put out was 1907 or something like that. Anyway, it's called the Egyptian Heaven and Hell, and the word SARS means Osiris. It means Osiris of the desert. Osiris Seker. Now, if you go to the Bridge the Gap, if you go to the book, The Serious Mystery, in the chapter, The Rising of the Serpent's Tooth, they talk about 2 Sigi ceremonies in the Dogon that does this sacred dance called the Sigi ceremony. They do this dance every 60 years. And whenever they do this dance, they say that it is the rise of Nomo. But the Sigi ceremony is called the Henti ceremony in Egypt, Kemet. And it's every 120 years. So you have 2 Sigi ceremonies. that represents one Egyptian Hemmit ceremony. Now the Dogon, we know, did a Sigi ceremony in 1994. They turned around and did another one mysteriously in 2001 that wasn't publicized, and they did that one on April the 23rd, 2001, right before 9/11. So although it's supposed to be 120 years and there's two Sigi ceremonies done every 60 years, the Dogons did two Sigi ceremonies back to back, one in 94 and one in 2001, which it also would represent the Egyptian Hemmit, and the Egyptian Hemmit is unleashes, as it says in the book The Serious Mystery by Robert Temple, chapter Rising of the Serpent's Tooth. It unleashes the god Seker in his Hindu boat. Well, here it is again. Seker is an earlier form of Osiris in the desert, called the Desert of Seker, which the Desert of Seker is called SARS. Are we not on? Huh?
Did you cut on your mic?
I never cut it off. Testing. I never cut it off. Okay, we good to go. So the god Seker is called SARS. You see? So the Calipoth that I was telling you about, which is the backside of the tree, is also called the Desert of Set. Anytime you get the desert, they're also talking about this mystical place where these real powerful beings live. So they're called the Desert of Set or the Tunnels of Set. So there's 22 Calipoth that Crawley came up with. There was 22 Tunnels of Set, but there's also divisible by 11. You see, which we got 11 of the Calipoth that I gave you. All this stuff here, the Calipoth is supposed to be the gods that set over disease. So we got this SARS, which is interesting, which is Osiris, the SARS, the Osirises. You got Seker, which is the desert god of the desert, which is called SARS. Here's the same desert thing again. You get Pazuzu, which is the god of the north-southwest wind. That is a god of the desert. That is a god that comes from Iraq. So you get a combination of all these particular entities, and all these particular entities also means disease. Now all of a sudden the CDC in Atlanta says that you get your flu shot, but be on the lookout for SARS, because it's going to hit like the flu. Now this is kind of funny. I thought SARS was something that the people in Korea caught, and some of the people in Iraq, and they only had one case in America, one or two cases. It was in Canada. Now you're saying it done changed from one man or two people having it, a couple of people having it in the Western Hemisphere, about 7 in all, to an epidemic like the flu. But yet we got these people that's on the 42 people on the East Coast that's got the same flu-like symptom. Or the same symptom, not flu-like symptom. They say this is a symptom that they can't tell what the shit is. The mystery here is there's going to be a disease that's starting to hit, because they open up some gateways, and the only people that's going to be able to survive this is the melanated people. Because the disease itself is melanin at its base. The disease itself is a form of melanin. We can prove this because the Calipoth is the other side of the tree. It is also the side which they say disease is on. Let's go a little further. The disease that they're coming down with is muscular sclerosis and muscular dystrophy. No, excuse me, muscular sclerosis and Lou Gehrig's disease. Anyway, something that attacks the central nervous system. But in this particular case, Why did they link it in this paper and say don't give no blood? It's a blood disease. Now, let's go on. In the mysteries of voodoo roots, which is the South Carolina roots, I'm from South Carolina, and I grew up with motherfuckers and root working people. That shit is prominent, and it is real. I got a couple of family members that got fucked up with that shit. My grandfather was working on a person's house in 1969. He was a master carpenter, built home mansions on Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for rich millionaires. So he was working on a house in 1969, and then all of a sudden, overnight, came down sick. Literally overnight. He went from, well, nothing wrong with him, clean bill of health, to coming down sick overnight. Overnight. He was diagnosed with what was called muscular dystrophy back then. This was before muscular sclerosis. What is it, sclerosis or cirrhosis? It's sclerosis, okay. Muscular sclerosis. It was called muscular dystrophy back in the 1960s. And most black people didn't catch this damn thing. Now, he came down with this disease. 5 years later, my mother went to visit this man that she was going with, this guy named Ben. My mother never had but one boyfriend in her life since my father died in 70. She never had but one boyfriend since my father died, and it was for a brief period of time. And this guy took her to this root man house in South Carolina. And when she got there, the root man said, I know you're a school teacher. She said, yeah. Say, your mama a school teacher. She said, yeah. Say, your sister a school teacher. This guy was just going into this thing. So you had a grandfather, you had your father named Raymond, who was a carpenter. Like, God damn, what the hell? This man was reading this stuff all out. He said, I know your grandfather, he was root work. And I know your father, it's my grandfather, he was root work. He said he was working on a woman's house and he came down sick. The woman, husband, came home and thought that he was messing with her or something like that. And root work, it was real big down there. But he came down with the muscular sclerosis now, or the same damn thing, which would be the Lou Gehrig's disease. So what we're talking about here is proof that this shit works. Another honey tried to goddamn throw some roots on me about 2 years ago, but to fuck around with the wrong person, because the shit, the utensils or whatever, we say we bend her utensils was bent, and the shit was reversed on her ass, and guess what? She came down with muscular sclerosis. Now she later on beat hers after she got her damn sense. But she did come down with the shit. But I thought it wasn't no cure. But why did she beat hers? Because number one, she's a melanated person. You know what I'm saying? She's a melanated person and all this type thing here and all, you know. But she tried to jack my ass up and she played hell fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm from the origin of where them motherfuckers come from. I'm their daddy. So them entities and shit just fucked her right on up. You know. But anyway, I told her, why are we going to put magic on people down here? You know, I told her, put it on the white man if you want to impress somebody. You don't put it on no damn nigga walking around because you just get mad. You know what I'm saying? Put it on the white man if you're so bad. So anyway, this disease and stuff that they're coming down with attacks the central nervous system. Now you got your guy Lynn Horowitz was talking about the emergent viruses that's coming. So I'm seeing now that this war is being fought for microscopic organisms and a molecular surface. And the structure, structure on a whole nother level. You see, so this is very interesting on how this thing is going on. So in so many words, by the time 2004 get here, there's going to be an acceleration on those diseases, both in Iraq and in here. Now, this is the reason why they have to keep the soldiers from out of the country. They are not talking about National Guard, the international community, and they're talking about giving even police officers. And if they need more, they're talking about enacting the draft again. You see what I'm saying? All of this stuff here, because they know within a year's time, the entire United States Army will be depleted. So here's an ass whipping that's coming. And that's just the way it is. And I know you got family members up in there and all, and hopefully maybe the melanin can save their ass or whatever the deal is. You know what I'm saying? But then again, on the other hand, we're world-class people. We had good time when we were supposed to go in that service from right after Vietnam to 1991. It was a real good thing because quiet is kept. Most of the brothers who went in the service got to go around the world. When other people went to college, they went around the world, and what the college graduates is finding out now, that the kind of money that it takes to go around the world, they'd have to be rich and would never be able to go around the world like the damn brothers and sisters that was in the service went around that motherfucker for free. So in so many words, it kind of worked out. You know so some of these brothers was going around to these particular places, what it would actually cost if you actually went there with your money. Because a white boy makes sure that the travel is very expensive. That's why you got to plan for trips and shit like that. So it kind of worked out for